this is a recorded session, so just wanted to let you know in that. So
Yeah.
and this is our very first edition of BAs on the Street, and we are going to be here talking with Tim Jones from the Presbyterian Foundation in Louisville, Kentucky, and just talk with him a little bit. This is Aaron Wittenberger. I'm Vice President of Professional Development for the Bluegrass IIBA chapter. So welcome, everyone. We're glad to have you here with us. Hello, Tim.
Hey, how are you doing, Aaron?
Pretty good. So we don't want anybody to come, try to join us here at the Bluegrass Brewery. We are virtually at the brewery. We're not, literally there. So wanted to welcome everybody. And we got another one joining us, so more people coming, and that's good. So let me introduce Tim, and first of all, I want to let you know, Tim, you've lost your title of the newest member of the Bluegrass chapter.
Oh, okay.
We had someone, it was week before or last week, I think it was last week actually, they joined, so.
Okay.
Lost your title, man.
Yeah.
Why don't you go ahead and take the rep here and just give us a little bit about your background.
Yep. So brand new in the BA field. Just started with the Presbyterian Church USA Foundation at the end of February, right as all this madness was unfolding. And then so my title is Assistant Business Analyst. Just finished up my MBA from Bellarmine in April, and then did a master's certificate in applied data analytics as well. And then before that, I can see different job functions that I had that kind of related to what I'm doing now, but nothing that was anywhere close to being an official business analysis title. So I'm just trying to keep my head above water and, trying to do as much as I can. So, yep.
Yeah. And that's the challenge, isn't it? And the thing about my career, right? I first of all started as an accountant, a corporate accountant and moved very quickly to IT, and was actually a developer for 20 plus years. And I was at a consulting firm, and they had 3 seats into a BA boot camp class, and they said, Aaron, you can go. Business analysis, what is that? And I've often told people, I had my CBAP before I ever held the title business analyst. So I done it, as a developer, I was a team lead, I was a programmer analyst, but all working with stakeholders, defining requirements, defining the business need, designing a solution, that was all stuff that I had done and didn't realize at the time that it was business analysis. So
right.
And I think a lot of people come from that. And I've worked with many business analysts from all kinds of different backgrounds. It's not we all come from one background and there's a set point, or we all come with the same knowledge base or anything like that. I've worked with people that had political science or communications backgrounds and things like that. Here we have an MBA, 2 MBAs and that. So it's very diverse and a very varied profession, and that's what I like about it. I hope you say the same.
Yeah. That's one of the parts I've already started to appreciate, being in a few of the different what do we call them, fireside chats that you guys have had. It just seems like a wealth of experience to tap into.
Yeah. Well, good. I'm glad you like those. Yep. Tell me a little bit about the Presbyterian Foundation. What do you do?
Yeah, so, really the Presbyterian Foundation is kind of like the financial arm of the Presbyterian Church USA. It's really just making sure that doing everything that they can as kind of like administratively to help make sure that all the different Presbyterian USA churches and all their different, it's a big hierarchy that's kind of, it reminds me of like the U.S. democracy, just how it's kind of structured organizationally. But just making sure that they are doing everything that they can financially to make the best decisions, and then helping them fulfill their mission. As far as my job, I'll admit that pandemic kind of sidetracked everything that we're doing. I'm sure it sidetracked everyone just a little bit. But yeah, I mean, it's the big thing for me right now is just trying to learn the different business functions, just learn the business really, because it's so much more different than any other place I've ever worked at, any other place that I could even think of to compare it to. So just trying to meet with some of our key people and then just learn the business, and then, you know, gradually learn some of the different software and technology stuff that we used to.
Okay. Yeah, well, I kind of gathered it was about the Presbyterian churches. And,
yeah.
so,
Yeah.
You know, hopefully it was connected with those and that. So
Yeah.
We talked about, you know, how varied the profession is, and, you know, a lot of different skills and a lot of different activities you do, and people, stakeholders you have to work with all day. So what is it you find challenging about the job?
Yeah, I mean, so I think this is still key to like me being so new. It's really just like trying to keep my head above water. You know, a lot of different meetings, trying to learn a whole bunch of different things. And then just because my boss is the one that's heading up more of, you know, like kind of getting the requirements analysis and then the project management stuff. And then, I mean, my job right now is basically just to shadow her, learn what she's doing, and then, you know, hopefully be able to apply some of that in the future. Like I said, there's just a bunch of different functions that we're doing. And, you know, I work some stuff with like database management stuff. So just, you know, like I say, with garbage in, garbage out, just trying to make sure that we've got the best data to, you know, make the best decisions for us too. So.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's certainly garbage in, garbage out is certainly true about all systems and that.
Right.
So, and I will tell you, it never ends as far as the learning and that. You know, one thing I've noticed about BAs more than all the other, especially around IT, software development, people that we work with, project managers and developers and that we have to learn fast. You know, especially when you go to a new domain, some area that your process you're not familiar with. You get in there, you learn it really quick in that. So business analysis really is a lifelong learning process, you know, all along the thing. So, all right, that is challenging. So what about it? What do you find satisfying?
So I think like, it's kind of weird to say, but like in my innate core, I'm kind of lazy, right? So part of the successful things, like one of the things that is nice about someone who tends to be a little bit lazy is they find ways to make things easier. And honestly, I think that's a key function of business analysis, is to figure out, okay, where's the fat that we can cut off of this? How can we make this more direct? How can we make less work? Can we automate some of this? So, I mean, there's even in just the 5 months that I've been here, I had like a data cleaning project. I was able to take off a huge chunk of time by, you know, doing some automation. And so I think that making things easier for myself and my coworkers and my company, that's fun. I think obviously with us being a mission-driven organization, that's a huge motive. That's not the right word, but it's a huge driver, right? So I know that what I'm doing is actually helping people versus maybe just someone, just a few people's pocketbooks. So it's, yeah.
Okay. So, yeah, I can, relate to all of that you said. And, we talked about the variety of the work that you do, variety of people you get involved with. I'm in a team of my BAs where I work, and the enterprise team. So I go across the enterprise and get with I could go to any business unit within the enterprise. We do have some BAs that support one application or another, one business line or another. And they're snowed into that, supporting that, application and that business line. And then we have my team that can go across all of them. And I've worked with many different departments, but there's still departments I haven't worked with. And, every one of them's, challenging, and it's learning all new people, the processes they do in that department, and learning their domain. So, and that's quite satisfying work. It's unlike when I was an accountant where you're counting beans all day. The beans are they're all the same size. So, quite different work in that. So, I know you're also fairly new to IIBA and the Bluegrass chapter, and you're really just into it. But what's your experience so far with IIBA and resources available and things like that?
Yeah. So I mean, I'm a big reader. So like one of the things that I initially just started diving into was just looking at all the different resources that they had and their library that they have online. So, I mean, obviously they have the BABOK, but there's, they just came out with the data analytics guide too. And then just a whole bunch of stuff that I haven't even been able to get into, because how many, they say it was like 35,000 different resources that they have in the library. So, yeah, a bunch. So that alone, a good library is worth a lot. But just being in the newsletter that the Bluegrass chapter sends out, I'm updated on a bunch of different continuing education classes, some different just chats and networking events. So I've already been a part of a few of that. And then you've got me involved with the planning committee for BBAD. Is that what we got? Is that what we said? Yeah. So yeah, BBAC. Okay. So yeah, that's right. So yeah, the Bluegrass Business Analysis conference. Yep. So yep. So looking forward to that. I think it's a really, I would butcher the subtitle if I tried it. What is it? Basically the theme?
The theme? It is disruptions and transformations, pivoting, adapting, thriving, and leading through trying times.
Yep. So yeah, say that 5 times fast, right? So yeah, I'm looking forward to that too. I mean, so there's, like I said, it's the whole thing, like you were talking about earlier with, business analysis is you're continually learning. So that is, I feel like IIBA is kind of like the vehicle for me so I don't get left behind. So.
Okay. Yeah. So there's our shameless plug for our BBAC. Yeah. Right. So September 23rd, there's a page dedicated to right in our bar on our website. Go check it out. We're still developing the program. One thing we do know is that President and CEO of IIBA, Delvin Fleck, is delivering the keynote address. So we've got him.
Yeah, that's exciting.
Going to be there. So going to be excellent. It's a virtual conference, of course, and this day and time has to be delivered virtually. So, um,
Yep.
that. So I didn't plan on plugging that. So thank you for
I thought it was appropriate.
So let's talk about the standards, because that's what IIBA is about. You know, they're a membership-driven organization, of course, but you know, they produced a standard. The big one being the BABAC. There's an agile extension.
Right.
Have you been able to get into those yet? What do you think about?
So I mean, I got my copy and was like, show up. Yeah, it's kind of the background's kind of blurring it out a bit, but yeah, no, I just got it in my hard copy a couple weeks ago, and I've got it downloaded on my phone. It's extensive. It is
500 pages.
a lot. It's one thing I will say as someone who's new to the field, it's not the easiest to get into. One thing, listening to some of the fireside chats we had with the group, and they were talking about the study group, and then just being able to, and then some of the study resources too, but basically applying what maybe they called something different, or they didn't think about, you know, maybe they just didn't even have a name for it with what they were doing, that, you know, that's in the BABAC, or maybe they called it something and then the BABAC called it something different, who knows. But like I said, I'm all brand new to it. I haven't gotten really far into it, but I know already that I'm going to need more than just myself reading it to really get some understanding out of it. So I wish, because whenever I joined right before the study group started, and I really wish I'd just joined up in the study group right off the bat, because I feel like that would help me out a lot. And so as soon as the next one starts up, I'm joining them. So.
Yeah, unfortunately, this is our second study group of the year, and it's 13.
Oh, okay.
So, you know, this is the last one we're doing this year. It'll be offered again next year sometime.
Yep.
But, you know, it just takes too long. And we're actually in week 10 of 13 weeks. So,
yeah,
you know, we're seeing the light at the end of the tunnel.
Yeah.
We do have a AAC, the Agile Analysis Certification one later this fall. Starts in September, goes through October. But before we do BABAC again, it will be in 2021. So I'll make sure you're aware of it, and when it's out there, so that you can do it and actually get involved in that one. Maybe Devin and join you too.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah.
I could do that.
Well, good. Have you thought much about the next or where IIBA should go now? With you've seen the BABAC, the Agile Extension,
Yeah.
the competency model, standard. They've done quite a bit, and they've been releasing, like you said, the new which one? The data analytics guide for data analytics just came out. So you thought more where they should go now?
So, I mean, as all of my views are obviously skewed because I'm so new, and forgive me, like if there's something that I mentioned that I already have, or that I'm misunderstanding something, I'm going to throw that out there. There's more than you know, just likely, I guess, that there's a possibility that I'm misunderstanding some things. But like for me, I feel like the BABAC's dense. I would like something that's almost like even just like kind of like an intro to the BABAC, something that makes it a little bit more digestible. And then also it also feels really academic. So maybe something that's less like a textbook, and then something that's like a field manual, you know, so they can complement each other, right? Something that's more like an application guide. And like I said, that might already be in there. I haven't gotten I've gotten through out of that much. I've gotten through about that much. So it's yeah, there's a lot, and like I said, that may be some of the stuff that's in there. I'm not sure, but it's like I said, just being so brand new, it's not quite as digestible for me as I'm used to with some other things.
Yeah, and it really doesn't read like what you call a field manual or a practitioner's guide or anything. It has all the techniques and that, but it doesn't say how to do those techniques or the best way to go about it and get into approaches and things like that. So that's what a lot of the endorsed education provider classes that are out there, what we do in the study group and everything is to teach those kind of things and such. So, but that's a good thing coming from someone that's new in the field, different perspective, and I'll pass that on to IIBA.
Yeah, okay. And then one other thing I was thinking about too was, do they have like a case study book, like about like here's like a situation, and then here's how you use the principles in the BABOK to resolve it?
Not so much. I know they provide materials for IIBA chapters for study groups, which we don't use. We've developed better ones, but there are some case studies that come with that, or for thing and for chapters to help teach that more than giving the answer. For what you do it for is tell me how to go about this. Chapter 11 in the BABOK is about perspectives. So that might be a bit closer to what you're talking about, and you do business analysis in an agile environment or in a business intelligence environment, so, things like that. Good. It really doesn't get down to, kind of approaching and how to, do work, but it kind of takes the 6 knowledge areas, all the tasks that are in there, and puts it in a perspective of agile business intelligence or IT or business architecture. I think it's the other one that is in there. So, you're newer into the field than I am, and that's really new to you, but would you have any advice for anybody who's just now coming into the field? It's brand new. What to do?
So I'll say the advice my boss told me as soon as I got there. She was like, just learn the business. And I think, because trying to make improvements or, slice and dice how business is done before you actually know how to do it is probably not the best way. So, and beyond that, just be ready to learn. What about you? What's your advice for someone brand new? That's probably who we should be asking.
You turned the tables on me. I would certainly say that. Learn the business, but learn how to effectively deliver business analysis services to your organization. And that might be, get training. And I think that might be one of the best things I could advise somebody who wants to do this and that, is get out there and learn first how to do it, correctly and to deliver good quality service to your organization. And that, so secondly, I would say, make your natural curiosity grow. Get that kid you want to know everything about everything, how everything works. When you're uncovering a business process or learning some new domain, you got to get down to the details and learning how all of those fit together and make what makes the business run. So natural curiosity. So don't be afraid to ask the big question, why? So one of our techniques, it's not in the Bob Iger, one of our techniques is the 5 whys. You ask
Right.
times, you know, so you're like a little 5th grader, but why? So, yeah, keep that natural curiosity. It'll serve you well. So there are particular hot topics that are around. The pandemic's the big one, but
Yeah. Right.
even before that, my organization was going through an agile transformation. Digital is going to be behind behind that. There's a lot of talk about artificial intelligence, machine learning, robotics, you know, all kinds of different topics that are coming up. Any of those interest you?
So, I mean, with my MBA, some of the classes that I took, we worked with some analytics and machine learning. So, I mean, with that, I mean, yeah, both of those definitely interest me. But one thing I've kind of found already is that there are a lot of different companies out there that are already kind of like working on this to, you know, basically make them as software as a service companies that are already kind of providing their services at scale for pretty low costs. So I think that that's going to be, right now there's a whole bunch of them. I think that they'll probably whittle down to just a few. But I mean, some of the big companies provide that kind of along with their products too. If you like look at SAP, they've kind of got their own analytics stuff going on in there. They've got their own machine learning things that go into that. And then on the analytics side, you look at even just, you know, you put a little bit of code into your website for Google Analytics, and then you've got a dashboard there for you. So, I mean, it's already kind of going throughout basically everything on the web for sure. And then I think it's only a matter of time before every single software that's out there has, you know, some sort of analytics. But a lot of it, I think had, you know, some simple reporting things, which, you know, and then some dashboard capabilities. But I think all that's becoming a lot more advanced. You know, we can, I think, you know, some of the software is actually, you know, free too. So that it makes it a whole lot more accessible to a bunch of different places. But yeah, I think that places, you know, people don't necessarily have to be the ones that are building their own analytics platforms from R or Python. But I think understanding how machine learning works, what the desired output is, you know, to help make decisions. I think that's an important skill to have. And then maybe at least somebody in the company that can tell the difference between what maybe like good data science or good data analytics is versus bad. And that's because you can, you know, it's one of those things, what's the name of that book? How to Lie with Statistics, something like that. So being able to know differentiate between good analytics and good data science and bad, that'll be important. That and from a more higher level aspect, thinking about, okay, so if we decide to do a data science project or analytics or machine learning or any of that, is it actually going to be of use to the people we're doing it for? And if it shows them something that they don't want to see, are they going to do anything with it? Or, you know, and then also from, you know, the practitioner aspect, do I understand all of the data that's going into my models so that it's actually going to make a good decision? All right. So like we were talking about with garbage in, garbage out, or even if it's a simple, maybe the data is good, but I misunderstand it, then my recommendations could be completely off. So there's a lot of ways to mess it up, but that's part of the reason why I think that using some of the third-party stuff that's coming out, and like I said, there's tons of it out there, to try to just do that, do the modeling for you, doing the actual analytics parts, I think is probably going to be, because just the economies of scale just put it in its favor. So that's kind of where I see it going.
So it's big data, huh?
I mean,
really,
some of it. I mean,
and
there's small data too, but yeah, I mean, I mean, to be fair, I don't think a lot of places. I mean, unless you're a large corporation, I don't think you have big data. I think most of the stuff that you do is a little bit smaller, but yeah, it's.
And you hit, the very high points and the very important points of that when you get into that business data analytics practitioner guide that just came out, the last domain for the business data analytics certification is about using data for good decision making to form the decisions. So what you were saying, getting through the noise and getting to the good data, that's all very important, and that's all drawn out in that certification and that practitioner's guide. So
good, yeah.
Good stuff. So I'm going to open it up, let the audience, if anybody's got any questions to you. Before we do, I did want to kind of ask you, when you came to the chapter and that, I'd seen your name, I think, once or twice, but immediately the thing I saw was your membership application, and I go, okay. And so, you joined right away, and you did a couple things. You've attended 3 or 4 of our events that we have had since, then and that, but you joined right away in that. So what really drew you to it? What do you see as the value of Bluegrass chapter membership?
Yeah, I mean, I'm one of those people, I don't see the reason in doing anything halfway. So I knew that if I wanted to be the best I was at my job, that I was going to have help. And I was going to need a support system. I mean, absolutely, I'm getting that at work. But like I said, I'm trying to do above and beyond. So the amount of things that were going on with the chapter, like I said, we've got the conference coming up. There's a study group going on. There are different webinars going on, it seems like every single week. I could tell that it was an involved chapter. So that was something I wanted to tap into. And then kind of I wanted to access more points of view, all the different levels of experience and all the different industries from the different people that were in the chapter. So it just made a lot of sense to me.
Okay. I don't know if you were at the last happy hour, or maybe you joined us after that and that, but a way of connecting to people, get those points of views and happy hours again and that. So our community asked for activities during this pandemic when they're stuck at home and,
right.
nothing to do. So we stepped up and did it. I'll do another shameless plug in a couple of weeks on August. We have Adrian Reed, if you know that name, in the UK. He spoke at BBC, the conference for IIBA, last 5-6 years, probably more than that I've known him. I mean, he's an excellent speaker, great. He's always got great topics. He's going to be talking about systems thinking on August 11th. It's on our website. It's him. So a daytime event. So go out and check it out. So it's going to be a worthwhile thing. You might be already registered for it.
I don't know. Yeah, we'll see.
Yeah. So I'll give an opportunity for anyone else who wants to ask any questions, have any points of view you want to bring up. This is our time for our audience. So we have a few out here. Hi, Toy. I saw you come in a little.
This is Diane. I have a question. You mentioned you studied data analytics. How are you using data analytics in your role?
So I'm new enough that I'm not doing anything extra at this point. I will say that I definitely think there's opportunities for it. I won't really. What are you just asking in general out of curiosity, or is there something that you're looking for, maybe applying it to in your own work?
Well, I'm in supply chain and I'm studying business analysis. So there's things that I don't know. I'm in the study group,
Right.
and I'm working towards getting my CCBA. I know that business analysis and business analytics, it's a little different. They're not exactly the same. You can use one. I wanted to just understand how people would use it, apply it, after getting a general certification, what would help you the most after that?
Yeah, I mean, so I think in terms of supply chain, probably one of the biggest things I would think about, and I mean, for a lot of different industries, would be getting together some sort of dashboard that's appropriate for your level, or if you were building it for someone else, for whether it's executive, middle management, or whatever it is below that. But so I think that looking at, and you build a dashboard by kind of just having your data sources feed in, and then you've got basically KPIs that are and metrics that are built off of that. So I think, so whenever I think of analytics, I just think of it as a way to kind of streamline decision making, and then as kind of also functioning as kind of like a smoke alarm, right? So if there's something wrong, that it kind of just as a quick little view at your dashboard, you're going to see, oh, something's in the red, that you're able to then dig deeper into the issue. There's also analytics that's more of like a descriptive. There's a few different levels of analytics. They call it descriptive, and that would be descriptive. Then there's prescriptive, which is, okay, something's wrong, what do we do about it? And then also predictive. So what do we think is going to happen in the future? And then, so I mean, a lot of analytics and machine learning and all of that isn't based on necessarily that's something new, like ARIMA, which is ARIMA, which is the time series forecasting for, okay, so like how are sales going to go next quarter? Sales forecasting is one of the prime ways they do that. So just so it's more, sometimes business analytics and like data science is just like a new name for an older thing. So yeah, I mean, what I would really do from your perspective is I would look, okay, what are my important key performance indicators and the metrics that go along with those, and then there's a few different ways you can build dashboards. Tableau is a really popular one. Power BI is another one. Power BI is free. It's not quite as user friendly in my opinion, but I mean, it's definitely doable. So I mean, if you were going to get into it, I would probably just get familiar with your data and your data sources, and then maybe take like a short little online course on Tableau or Power BI. And then I think you could just go from there.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
Okay. Does anybody have anything else? Was there any last thoughts you have, Tim?
No, I just wanted to say thanks for having me on. I can't wait to see who. Thanks for not making me follow somebody really high up. That's one of the nice things about going first, I guess. So no, I'm just looking forward to seeing the other people they interview. I think that there's a lot of people within our chapter and without that I think will be great people to have on. So I can't wait to see.
Okay, well, thank you. Yeah, we plan on continuing the series and talk to people on all through the experience spectrum, from the very senior people, to those that are brand new to the organization. So I have a couple others in mind. The one that joined the chapter just before you is probably, unless she hasn't, confirmed yet that she want to, but certainly there's others that, it's been great talking to you, learn a little bit more about you. Hope to continue to see you and everybody else that's here today. And there's a couple of them that are in our study group I see there. And I hope to see you at further events and stay connected to the chapter.
Yep, absolutely. All right, thanks for having me.
All right, thank you all for being here. This will end our very first edition of BA's on.